the Jamovi, right? So the first step is to see the descriptive statistics of, or to perform the descriptive statistics on the data. So before proceeding and doing the hands-on along with or using the Jamovi, I want to know how many of you are understanding descriptive statistics. Yes.
Descriptive
Anyone?
descriptive statistics, like I think, ma'am, it means describing the data using mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and all that, so that we get to
Very
know
correct.
about the data itself.
Very correct. Very correct. Thank you so much, Vivek sir. Vivek sir has very correctly said, when we talk about descriptive statistics, it is nothing but using the descriptive statistics. We want to know, or we want to understand our data, right? This is the very first step which we are performing on the data. So because what happens when you are dealing with the large data sets, when you are collecting the data, like suppose you are collecting the data for any of your research paper writing, or maybe for your PhD work. Firstly, you need to understand what type of data you are having. Although you are knowing its type, or also you are knowing its measurement scale, but the behavior you cannot understand when you are looking at your data. So to understand the nature or the behavior of your data, you need to perform certain kind of statistical analysis, or that very basic kind of statistical analysis, which is descriptive statistics, which can provide you the summary of the what I can say, summary of the data, and using that particular thing, you can understand what type of behavior is shown by your data to you, and then further you are deciding upon that which statistical test or tool now you need to apply on your data, right? So we'll go to the Jamovi now. So I just a minute, I'm sharing my screen with all of you. Give me a second. Again, I need to open Jamovi. I'm opening it. After yesterday's session, how many of you have explored more about the Jamovi? Yes. Hello. I hope I'm audible.
Ma'am, you are audible, but we haven't explored much. That's why we are not speaking.
Actually, the students have not done their homework. That's why none of them is speaking.
No, no one is the student here, sir. We all are on the same platform. Thing is only I'm knowing little bit more about the Jamovis. That is I'm sharing with all of you. It is just like that. So do not call yourself as a student. Okay, fine, no issues. I see, because I think you people have joined this particular FDP for this purpose only, so you can understand Jamovi, right? So I shared my screen. Is it visible? I hope.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Screen is visible. Yeah. So here I'll talk about, firstly, yesterday I explained you how to bring data in the environment of Jamovi. That way you have seen, you can use this particular icon. These three lines, once you will click on this, you can go to the open, and that way you need to select whether you want to use the data library of the Jamovi, or you want to bring or pick your data from the PC. right? If you want to bring your data from your system, your desktop or something, you will use this, right? It is clear, I hope. This is, I already explained you
Yes,
yesterday.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I talk about yesterday we have seen how to bring data using this open and using this PC. But today I'll talk about data library, right? Suppose I want to use the existing data set which is already available in the Jamovi environment, right? So I want to see that. So here, if you can see, very first one is the book sales, right? I hope it is same is shown in your devices also, right? If it is, you need to select this. You will click on that, and that way, in few seconds, you would be able to see this, right? Visible, I hope.
Ma'am, this option is not shown to us.
Okay. Is it possible for you to share your screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I can share.
Yeah, I stopped share my screen. You please share.
Same with me, ma'am. These are the data sets that are visible.
Please, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Sorry. Again, I am resuming. Yes, please, ma'am. Now go to the 3 lines. Yeah. Come to the open. Click on the data library. Have you clicked?
Yes, ma'am, I have clicked, but only these 4 files are shown there. Sorry. Should. In data library, we have these 4 files. That is big 5, growth, bugs, and recent illustrator.
And what about the remaining?
Yeah, ma'am. Same with me.
Give me a second. I'm just searching in my Jamovi library. I need.
Same with me also, ma'am.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm just exploring it. It is taking time. Yes. I need to search the correct option. Through that, you can see that, because I think I have added our data sets also. Do one thing. Okay, ma'am, you please be there on the screen. You please keep your screen. Do it in maximize mode first. Yes. Now, press this arrow key. Come out from this particular option. Right. Now come extreme right and see the plus sign is there. Click on this. Go to the library. scroll down and find, I'm just reading the name, what I have means maybe because of that reason I would be able to see some more files. So you need to go down and search for the R data sets. This one. Install this. Installation done.
Yes, ma'am, it's done. Now I again need to go there. No. These are the four.
Not showing?
No, ma'am.
Give me a second. Maybe I have installed one more package, but I am not recalling that right now. Do one thing. I'm sharing the same sheet on the WhatsApp. Is it fine?
Ma'am, now we can see the other files, I guess. I have just opened our data sets.
Yeah.
And
Now search for book. Search for bookstore data is available there or not.
Can you please spell?
Ma'am, it is B sales.
Bookstore.
It's B sales that is visible.
It's BJ sales.
Book sales is there or not?
No, I
B
guess.
double OK book.
No, ma'am.
Apart from that, again you type whatever you're telling me. Please tell me the name that.
That is BJ sales.
BJ sales. I need to find whether it is available in my sheet or not. Give me a second.
Okay.
No, in my case, I cannot see that.
Okay.
Okay, okay, just a minute. J data is available or not? ISJ. You can type in the
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it's not available.
In the search.
No, ma'am.
No issues. Come out to the same option. Go to again plus.
Okay, I need to go to the module, right?
Yeah, modular. That is, you need to again go to the library. Here is, please find there is any search option available. I think, right? Type
Yes,
here
ma'am.
LSJ, not I. It is LSJ.
LSJ. Yeah.
Able
LSJ
to see
data.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you need to install this.
Okay.
Everyone do the same process the ma'am is performing.
I did it.
Okay. So now please find, ma'am, are you able to see the same now? In place of, it is taking our data set, it should take LSJ. Yeah, I think it is showing now.
Yes, ma'am, it's showing.
Yeah.
Good.
What about the remaining people?
Should I close my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am,
Sure,
it's
please.
showing now.
Okay.
So, fine. So shall I proceed with my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please.
So as you can see, after, because I am using this LSJ data, right? Our data set also you can use if you have installed that, right? If suppose presently I'm working on this LSJ, so I have selected the book sales. You need to only click on this book sales, and that way you would be able to see book sales data is available now in the Jamovi interface. It is fine. Everyone has done this. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, here you need to see what type of the data available with us. Give me a second. I'm trying to increase its size. It's not increasing. Fine. Now you can see we are having the month, days, sales, and the stock level, right? You can go to the variables. If you want to see any kind of summary, you can select that variable, and that way you can check what type of data it is. Stock labels is a nominal scale data, and the categories or labels are in the text form, which is high, low, and out, right? Similarly, you will click on the sales. It will give you the detail about that. So yesterday, I think we have seen all this. I do not need to repeat it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine, everyone.
I just want to know what is that LSJ data set? Because
Ma'am, it's a kind of library or package available. Using that, this is a range of all the data sets are available. Means it is like, you can say it's a kind of package which is offering you certain kind of data sets. So once you have installed that, so all the data sets available in this that particular package will be visible to you. You can use for your own purpose. Only thing is that you cannot use such data for your research purpose, because it is already collected data or work data by the previous persons or maybe the previous users. So that way, for your, what I can say, ease purpose, this kind of data sets were uploaded in the environments of various kind of softwares. In SPSS also there are various files available, but we generally don't tell this thing to the users, because many a time it happens people can use the same data for their research purpose. So it is not ethically correct, right, ma'am?
okay, ma'am. Thank
I
you.
need to search for the full form of LSJ. That I think you can also Google and you can find what is LSJ stands for. So it will show you this is a kind of package which is offering you certain kind of data sets, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Moving ahead. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Moving ahead. Yesterday and today also we have seen variable and the data tab. Coming to the analyze. Click on the analyze and you will be able to see at least exploration, t-test, ANOVA, regression, and frequencies, right? If suppose I am using the first, that is the frequency, right? So here in the frequency, all that tests which you can perform on the frequency data, like you can perform binomial test, you can perform goodness of fit test, you can perform chi-square of association test, and NEMAR test, right? And also the log linear regression. This is all you can perform under the frequencies, right? But basically today we want to see firstly the descriptive statistics. You need to click here on the exploration tab or the icon, right? And then you can find in this particular icon, descriptives is available and also two types of graphs are available. I'll click on the descriptive option. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
After doing this, you would be on landed on the descriptives section. There you can see at the left hand side all your fields, all your variables are listed. If suppose I'm selecting the sales, right? I want to shift sales from this cell to the variables box. Done. And you can find already a format is available at the right hand side pane, which is named as results section. There you can find it is showing you the n, right, number of observations, the missing value, the mean value, the median, standard deviation, minimum, and the maximum. This is by default given by the Jamovi once you're shifting your variable in the variables box, right? So n is indicating number of observations. We are having total 12 count for the sales data. There is no missing value in the data. The mean sales is 29.2. Median is not found by the Jamovi. And then standard deviation of the sales was 62.2. Minimum sales is 0 and maximum is 200, right? Now coming here. See at the left hand side pane, there you can find descriptives, which is variables across columns, right? And second one is variables across rows. So I think we know this thing. Jamovi is taking the data in the format same which is followed by the Excel. That means your data will be arranged into the column. Variables will be arranged into the column. But if your data will be like this in a row form, means your variable is this and all the entries are there in a row of one variable. Likewise, in the second, you can go to the next option. But by default option is variables across the columns. So I'll go with this, right? If suppose you want to get the frequency table also, you can click on this, right? That way, this will prepare your frequency table. There you can find it is indicating you that sales values are 0, 50, 100, and 200. That means a bin kind of arrangement is done by Jamovi for us. That means 0 to 49. So there are total 9 counts are coming. Then 50 to 59, 50 to 99, only one count. Then 100 to the 199, one count, and likewise 200. So these are the counts available for us in the sales column. Then percent of total, which is very easier for you to find. 9 divided by 12, 1 divided by 12, 1 divided by 12, 1 divided by 12. So that way it will give you the percent of total. In cumulative meaning is 75 will be as it is. 75 plus 8.3 will give you 83.3. 83.3 plus 8.3 will give you 91.7 or 91.6 around. And then you are adding the last, which is giving you 100. This, I think, cumulative, everyone knows how to calculate. So if I want to ask you how many of the sales value are below 100, below the 100, so you can tell me around 91.7% values in the sales data is below 100 figure, right? So this is the use of cumulative percent. Is it fine, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Come here, click on the statistics. You will once you will extend or expand this statistics section, you would be able to see it is by default. Some of the options are selected by. These are the by default values. It will give you the n value, which you can see. It is already showing you. Missing it is shown by you. Jamovi to you. Then mean, median, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. But if suppose you want to exceed a few more descriptive measures, suppose I want to see the variance of, I can click on this, right? I want to get the suppose the interquartile range, that also I can select. If I want to get skewness, I can select. I want to get kurtosis, I can select, right? It is taking time in calculation. Yes, it is calculated. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Easy, right? Very easy, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, once I was talking about the descriptive statistics, I said to you this thing, that descriptive statistics will tell you the nature or the behavior of your data. So, right? So here I'm dealing with the salary data. I think data name is salary, right? Sorry, sales. We are dealing with the sales data, right? Looking at the few more things which I have just entered here, like variance, IQR, skewness, and kurtosis values, I want to comment on the normality of the data. So I hope you know this thing, using which parameter I can comment on the normality of the sales. Can you tell me whether the sales is normally distributed here or not, looking at the descriptive statistics? Anyone? Yes.
We can tell by seeing skewness and cutoffs, I guess.
Okay. So what will be your comment, ma'am, if you are using skewness and kurtosis for commenting on the normality of the sales?
I guess the value is more than 0.5 or I guess 0.25 or 0.5 we generally see, because I have just attended your last class, and that we just
Oh, it's Bhavna.
yeah.
Okay. What about the remaining?
Ma'am, the data can either be skewed on the left side or it can be skewed on the right side. If it is skewed on the left side, we can say that most of the population falls in the lower quarter of the normal distribution, lower normal distribution curve. And if the higher values are most of the population,
But
then
this
data will
data
be
is
slightly
not
skewed.
normally distributed, no?
Yeah. When data is not normally distributed, but right and left skewed it can be. If it is right,
Yeah.
most of the population has higher scores.
Okay, fine. I think it was Vidya ma'am, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Fine. Okay, no issues. I'll try to explain you. Maybe this can help you.
Yeah, ma'am. And one more query. What was the split by option? When you clicked on descriptive, there was one more option, split.
If you want to split your sales, suppose I want to split my sales according to the month, I can shift here. If I want to split my sales according to the day, so that will be any categorical variable. Using that, you can split your numeric variable,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, coming back to the descriptive statistics, there you can find, if I will see the value of skewness, which is 2.35, if I look at the kurtosis value, which is 5.39, so we need to have firstly the understanding about the skewness and kurtosis once we are talking about the normality. So I think those who are knowing this, these two measures, I think it is very good. As Bhavna ma'am said previously, ma'am has attended one of my workshops. So there also I talked about this because these are the very basic parameters in statistics if we want to go for the high level of statistical tools performance, right? So you need to know these terminology. So I'll repeat those. If you are knowing, well and good. Not knowing, I'll repeat or I'll tell you that. So it can be I can say this thing. When I want to comment on the I want to comment on the normality part of my data. I'll look at usually the skewness and the kurtosis value, because once I talk about the normality of the data, it is nothing but it is showing the normal distribution of the data, which you can represent by the bell-shaped curve, right? And the shape of that curve is decided by the values of skewness and the kurtosis, and also from the mean and the standard deviation, right? Usually for the standard normal distribution, means I'm talking about the exact normal distribution curve, right? There we are generally saying this thing that mean is 0 and standard deviation is 1, right? Further, for the standard normal distribution, skewness should be 0 and kurtosis should be 3. But here you can see your skewness is 2.35, right? So that means your skewness value is greater than 0. That is the positive value, right? That means you can comment your data is positively skewed data, right? Positively skewed data means that your right tail will be greater than to your left tail. Most of the data points which are very small are falling at the right hand side. This is the meaning, right? Talking about the kurtosis, as I said, for the exact normal distribution, kurtosis value should be 3. And if the kurtosis value is 3, you can call your data as mesokurtic. So for normality, your data should be mesokurtic data, right? But if your data is exceeding 3, or you can say if it is greater than 0 generally, you can call it as your data is a leptokurtic, right? If it is less than, means if your kurtosis value is coming in the negative point or negative value, you can comment that your kurtosis or your data is platykurtic data. So here if I will look at the skewness is telling it's positively skewed data, right? Similarly, if I see the kurtosis value, it is indicating me my data is platykurtic data, right? No, sorry, my data is leptokurtic data. So that means my data is not normal. This is, I'm 101% sure looking at the skewness and the kurtosis value. Apart from that, there are few more measures using that you can comment on your normality. That is the mean value and the median value. Generally, in case of the normal distribution, we are generally assuming this thing that mean and median is similar, or if not exactly similar, they are nearby to each other. So here, if I will look at the mean, it is 29.2, and if I talk about the median, which is 0, that means there is so much difference in the mean and median value, which is again indicating me that my sales is not normally distributed. It is fine, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is the one important thing you need to understand. Now, there are few more things available. I'll go down. This is, I think we will discuss once we will start working with the performance of parametric and non-parametric tests. In that case, I'll comment on this. Right now, I'm not using these things. Now I'm taking you to the again exploration icon, and this time I am, oh, just a minute. Here you cannot use scatter plot. Can anyone of you tell me when we can use scatter plot, or what is the basic requirement of the scatter plot? Anyone?
We should have two variables which we can represent on the x and y axis.
Very correct. Very correct, sir. Sir is very correct. He said very correctly. When we want to perform the, what I can say, when we want to perform, when we want to see the relationship between the variables, right? So in that case, you need to use the scatter plot. And when I'm saying relationship, it is quite obvious. There will be obviously more than one variable. So you need to have two variables. One variable you will take on your x-axis, second variable you are taking on your y-axis, and that way you will plot the data points of both the variables on the that particular graph, and it is indicating you the relationship between the variables. So scatter plot is used to understand the relationship between the variables, and I said we cannot perform this because we are having only single numeric variable in this data, which is sales, right? So I think you can go again on the exploration box and select the descriptive statistics, and this time you please select this plot, right? Selected, everyone? I hope you found it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now here you can see this is the histogram, this is the box plot, bar plot, QQ plot, and remaining two are the violin plot, QQ plot, violin plot, and data, etc. The basic thing you need to understand when you are talking about the numeric variable that is continuous in nature. So I think I have not discussed these things here. These are the very basic things I have not discussed, but I think I am assuming this thing. Every one of you knowing this thing, that generally you can divide your data into the what I can say discrete form, or qualitative data or quantitative data. In quantitative data, you can see there is discrete and the continuous data. Discrete data meaning is when you can represent your data in the whole number form. This is known as discrete data. But once you are able to represent your data in the decimal points, which is known as the numeric or the continuous data, right? So sales, if I will talk about the variable which we are dealing with, I can say this can be a which variable, numeric, discrete or continuous?
Continuous, I guess.
Well, ma'am is very correctly said that sales will be your continuous variable, right? So for continuous variable, generally you are very much concerned that your variable should be normally distributed. So these are the methods which we have seen here. These are known as the numeric methods. Using that you can assess the normality of your data. But also there are graphical methods available. Using that you can comment on the normality part, right? So if I talk about which graph or which charts you can use for showing the normality of your data. So you can use the box plot, or also you can use the histograms. These two graphs you can generally use to comment on the normality of your variable or of your data, right? So in the plot section, I am selecting the histogram, right? Again, I am passing the variable. Just a minute, I need to pass this. Yeah, I have selected the histogram. Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Which clearly visible, which is indicating your data is positively skewed data, because your left side bars are very, sorry, your right side bars are very small in comparison to the bar which you can see, which is coming at the 0, right? So all the bars at the right hand side of that 0 bar is almost very 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 small, right? So that way you can say your right tail will be the longer tail than your left tail. So you can comment on this and you can say this thing that your sales data is positively skewed data. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if I talk about the box, visible,
Yes, ma'am.
here you can find this is for the sales data. Means these two graphs are the univariate graphs. Univariate graphs meaning is these two graphs you can plot for the single variable, right? Which is the sales in our case, right? Now, using these two graphs, if I will using the box plot, if I want to see, so box plot is having generally, because our data set or our data is very small. We are having only 12 data points in the sales, so that is why we are not able to see it in a correct form. And apart from that, also there is a problem. These are the missing value. These are the outliers in your data, right? Because these are beyond the boxes. So beyond the boxes meaning is these will be treated as the outliers in your data. Outliers are what? These are the very distinct, very different value which is not matching with your remaining data points, right? So these are very higher or very lower values which are not matching with your rest of the data points. We can call them as the outliers, right? So it is indicating that your data point or the second response, third and fourth, these three are the treated here as a as the outlier. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And due to the less number of data points, the box plot is also not coming in a proper manner, right? So that way I cannot much comment on any of the things of the normality that is using the box plot. Means box plot is not helping me to comment on the normality of my data. The reason is very clear. We are having the very less number of data points, and out of those less number of data points, 3 are the outliers, right? Which are coming at the right hand side, right? Coming upper side of the box. That means this is known as the right side. And that way here also you can find these are the outliers, 100, 200 and something. And that way you can find these are also coming at the same position, right? Getting me, I hope.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that way I can say this thing that there is a problem with the normality of my fine. Now I'm coming back. I'm expecting you now. Just a minute. Come to again this open section and use the data library, that is LSJ, and from here pick any of the data set of your choice. Yes. Which data set you are picking from here?
Book sales.
Book sales, I think we worked, ma'am.
Oh,
Any other?
clinical trial. Yeah, I guess we can't use, no? AFL margins by year.
Sorry?
AFL margins by year.
I need to use AFL margin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see what type of data it is having. Only single, what I can say, no problem. It is fine.
Okay, these are some
So-
tests which is already given, like binomial test, Likert, and
Where you're talking about, ma'am?
in this data library, ma'am, LSJ data.
Just this is what you are saying?
Yes, ma'am. There are so many data sets available.
No. Data sets are available, but it is for the specific test, right? You can find it is saying me that this I can use for the descriptive statistics, descriptive statistics, descriptive statistics. This data I can use for the descriptive, ANOVA, and the post hoc test. This I can use for the descriptive. This I can use for the data manipulation and all. That way you can see.
Ma'am,
Purpose is written.
ma'am, that means these are the ready data sets where we can
Yeah.
put our data.
Yes, that is what I said to you, ma'am. And I said one more thing, that this is already available for our help, for increasing our understanding. But
Okay.
suggestion is this: you cannot use this data set for your research. This is you can only do for the use for the practice purpose, right?
Okay. Ma'am, means we
Yes.
can just enter data on these sheets. We can enter our data in these sets, or we can just learn from these data sets.
You can only learn.
Okay.
Means this is the ready-made data set available. Once I have clicked on any of this, you know, so the way you said I need to use this AFL margin, I have clicked on this. This has opened for me, right? Now this is a ready-made data set available. Whatever things I want to perform, that I can perform here. This is the meaning, right?
Then, ma'am, please start with personality questionnaire.
That we will take afterwards. I think that will be a Likert scale data.
Yeah.
Yeah, second. This is you are saying me?
Yes, ma'am.
It is taking time. I think it's loading. In my case, I don't know in your case, but it is taking time in my case. I have selected that.
Here it is mentioned EFA and PCA. PCA means principal component analysis, right?
Yes. So that is why I have written this is the part 1 of Jamovi. Later on, I'll come up with the a few more tests with the part 2. Anyone who has able to open this personality questionnaire, in my case, it is not opening. I don't know
Ma'am,
why.
I have opened. It was just opened on a click.
I did that. It is not opening.
Okay.
2-3 times I did. I don't know why. Okay, I think I can use this. Nothing. No one is opening. 1, 2, 3 are listed here, right? I clicked on this. I clicked on this. I clicked on this. Nothing is opening. Just a minute.
Same with me, ma'am. It's not opening any one of them.
Yeah,
I think I want to learn. That's why it's opening at my screen.
very good. But in my case, it is not opening. I don't know why. Okay, do one thing. Give me 2 seconds. We will do one thing. Firstly, I am expecting any one of you to share your screen. I don't want to show my screen now. I'll guide you now through the your screen. Anyone those who is interested to share their screen can share. Anyone who is sharing? I'm waiting.
I have shared my screen. Is it visible to you?
It's loading. Visible. You maximize this, ma'am. Thank you. Fine. So which data set you have opened firstly?
I have opened that personality questionnaire.
Okay. And what about that AFL margins which you have told me previously? Have you opened that also?
AFL. No, ma'am. I haven't opened that.
Click on this also. FL margin also.
Okay.
Opened?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, ma'am, I think I'm just expecting you to please guide everyone using your screen at how to perform descriptive statistics. And then I want the inputs of every one of you to interpret the results, right? Bhavna ma'am, so please start doing this.
We can go to exploration,
Yes.
then to descriptive,
Yeah, fine.
and then we just enter this data to the variables, and then we started with statistics,
Fine.
right? And these were the options that we clicked earlier. Then we went to plots. and we then click to histogram and box plot also, right?
Very good. Right, very correct. So can you comment? I think now Bhavna has done so many things for us. She has generated the output for us. I'm expecting any one of you, if you can help us to understand what this descriptive statistics is talking about. Bhavna, you please hold. You please hold down. Anyone
Okay.
else will take the lead. Yes, Vivek sir, Vidya ma'am.
Uh, Ma'am, looking at the skewness,
Hmm.
we can see that the value is less than 3.
Hmm.
And kurtosis also, the value is 0.101, which is which shows that it's positively skewed.
Hmm.
And also, this is not normal.
Okay.
For normality, it should have been 3.
Okay. Skewness or kurtosis?
This should have been 3,
Okay.
because a normal distribution, as you told, it should be mesokurtic.
Hmm.
It's less than the value is less than 3.
Hmm.
So it's not mesokurtic, and that means that's not normal.
Fine. Fine. Yes, Bhavna ma'am, you want to say something?
Ma'am, in case of skewness, it is more than 0, but kurtosis is less than 3. So it is,
Little dicey to comment. Little dicey to comment, right?
yeah.
Okay. Now look at your histogram. What histogram is telling you?
It is positively skewed.
Positively skewed. Means it is not normally distributed.
Yeah.
If the problem with any or one of the measures of that is measures of distribution, because skewness and kurtosis are known for the distribution, right? Measures of distribution. So that way, if any of the measures of distribution is having problem with, it is not matching with the threshold values, that means you can say this thing, your variable is not normally distributed, right? So looking at the histogram, you can see your variable, that is margin variable, is almost positively skewed, right?
Yeah.
Go down and talk about your box plot now.
There are 2 outliers in the data. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
again showing that data is not normally distributed.
Normally distributed. Just a minute. Looking at this, I want to tell you one more thing here. As in the previous case, the dialog, this box plot is not coming properly. Here, I want to tell you, those who are new for box plot, they need to understand this thing. There are 5 components of a box plot. The first one is the middle line, which is known as the median value, right? Then the upper wall of your box, right, which is known as the quartile 3. The lower line of the box or lower boundary of your box is known as the first quartile, right? And the region below the what I can say first quartile, this is known as the whisker, and the region above your third quartile is known as your upper whisker. And apart from these whiskers, whatever the circles are exceeding or coming beyond that whiskers, maybe at the upper and the lower whisker, these are treated as a outliers in the data, right? So that way it is showing you, if you might be possible, if you are dealing with the outliers, you are removing the outliers. So that way it may there is a chance that it can help you to improve its what, the normality. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes,
Fine.
ma'am.
Fine. Now, coming to the next data set, which is shared by the ma'am. Ma'am, please come to the next data set.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yeah. Not much clearly visible to me, but I can see there are certain number of columns available, named as A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, something, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, yeah. Apart from that, if you will see, I don't know how many total rows are there.
This data set is quite large, I guess. I think it is up to 250. It's 250.
That.
Yeah.
How many columns are available, ma'am?
Let me see the columns. It's how can we just count it? It's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
My nothing happening in the Jamovi. I'm just waiting.
It is,
Okay,
it is more than 25, ma'am.
More than 25. You can go to the variable view. It will show, I think. No?
Okay, let me check. Yeah, it is showing. And but I can't see the count here, right?
Yeah, you can't see.
Yeah.
Fine. No issues.
We can
Now,
see the row
as
count.
ma'am is
We can
yes,
see the row
sorry,
count below.
row
Yeah,
count
row
is
count.
visible.
Yes,
Column
ma'am.
count
Row
is not.
count. Row count is visible, but not the column count.
Column count is not coming. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if as ma'am said, ma'am wants to work with this. So firstly, you need to understand your data is what? Your data is Likert scale data. It is any scale which is used for measuring the personality. I think personality data it is. No, name is personality. You are saying.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I want to suppose because there are so many scales available, using that you can understand the personality type of a person. So suppose any one of the scales were used to collect the data to understand the personality, right? So you can see it is already, I think once I will look at your screen, you can see it is A1, A2, A3 and A4, A5, right? And after that it is C or something, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that way it is indicating me because it is a data of the factor analysis, right? Already it was written and SWAM has downloaded this data or brought this data or opened this data. Near to that it was written EFA and PCA, you know. So meaning is that this data is the factor analysis data. And factor analysis meaning is what? Factor analysis is nothing but it is indicating you these are the factors available in your construct. So if I want to measure the personality, so what are the main factors are required to for me to understand that these factors may lead or form a personality of a person, right? So that way A2 to A5 will form a one factor. Further, I don't know what is a C1 and up to whatever number. And that way you can see that way this is indicating these are the factors or dimensions available. Clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear, right? So usually on Likert scale data directly we cannot perform such kind of thing, but still if you want, go to the exploration option in the analysis. Yes. As this is generally known as you can see its type is showing you as a nominal scale data, right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
usually Likert scale data is the ordinal scale data, right? You can change its type. So can Bhavna ma'am, can you guide us how you can change its type?
Ma'am,
So
we need to go to the variable or IS,
Mhm.
and then we can change that.
Can you change for the A1?
Yes, ma'am. On A1, I need to go to the edit. Am I doing right or I'm doing wrong?
You are doing right. Firstly, you need to see whether which one is selected.
I guess
Multiple variables are selected.
5, 6 are
You need to
available.
you need to deselect everyone except A1.
Yeah. Got it.
Now it is fine.
Now what I need to do is
Convert nominal into the ordinal.
okay. A1 data.
I do not need to change the name, ma'am. Come to that measurement type. Yes.
Okay.
Ordinal is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. That's all. It is done.
Okay.
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
It is showing you the type. It has updated. Yes, yes, you can see in the variable view itself, you can find the icon has changed from the nominal to the ordinal, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That. Now come to the descriptive. select A1, shift it to the, yes,
Between.
done. Now,
Statistics.
yes. Now you need to understand this thing, because generally for the ordinal scale data, there is no use to get the mean value. So you can deselect this.
Okay.
For the nominal and the ordinal scale data, we are generally calculating or finding the median, right? Apart from that, there is no use of standard deviation also. So deselect a standard deviation. There is no use of skewness.
Okay.
Skewness and kurtosis also you can deselect.
Okay.
Fine. Frequency table, I think you should create. It is important in case of nominal and ordinal scale data. Go up and check the box. Yes. Done.
Yeah, is it visible?
Not much clearly visible to me, but I think some of the output is generated. If you can explain what you are getting, ma'am, it will be easier for us to understand.
It is showing frequency of A1, and there are 6 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 in A1, and
Means
now-
Likert 6-point Likert scale is used there, right?
okay,
Right. And
that is
count
showing
is
the
one.
for 1 it is 78, and it is showing
78.
31.2%.
Okay. Hold on, ma'am. So meaning
Yeah.
is that if suppose one is a very least number in the scale, right? So 78 of the people have responded one to that particular question A1. Right?
Okay, got it.
Means whatever is your A1 question, 78 of the people has marked it as 1.
Yeah,
Maybe it is a very satisfied or whatever it is, right?
right.
Going down, similarly, you can talk 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's showing you count, and then further it is giving you, I think, percent and the cumulative percent, right?
Right, ma'am.
So if I want to ask the question from you, ma'am, how many of the people is having the, what I can say, suppose 3 stands for the average agreement label, suppose, right? So how
Okay.
many of the people are average, are or maybe averagely with the statement A1?
Ma'am, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
If 3 is indicating you the average agreement label, suppose one question I asked about the personality, I've
Yeah.
given you strongly agree, disagree, something of thing, right? And I'm saying you, because this is coded data, 1, 2, 3 is written in place of those categories. So suppose I'm telling you this thing, 3 is standing for the average, what I can say, average agreement label, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, what is the percent of the people, those who are the agreement average, below or equal to average level? So what
It is
your answer?
75.2% of the people, I guess.
Very correct, Bhavna. Very correct.
Thank you.
Good. Come up. Talk about your descriptive statistics now.
Yeah. It is showing there are the number of that people or respondents, we can say that is 250, and there is no missing
good.
value. The median value
Good.
is 2, and minimum is defined with 1, and maximum is defined with 6. That may be the
Point
least
of-
satisfaction to the higher satisfaction. That may be.
Yeah, because the scale is a 6-point Likert display. So 1 is minimum, highest is 6, right? Now looking at your median value, median is coming as 2, right? So
Yes,
that means 50% of the people are, what I think can say, they are marking their agreement level as
they are least satisfied.
50% people are, yeah, and 50% of the people are least satisfied or least agree with the statements, right? Because it's a personality questionnaire. So maybe they are asking you for your agreement level,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Then I can say 50% of the people are having agreement level above 2. That is, it can be 3, 4, 5, or 6, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So this way, this will be interpretation only which you can draw. But further, if you want to perform the EF and CFA, that also you can do. But I think that I'll explain you in the later stage once we will understand this Jamovi interface in this FDP. In the next part, I'll introduce with this particular points. Right, ma'am?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
So I think this is all from my side for the day. Now the platform is open for question and answers.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to ask one
Thank
question.
you.
Whether we'll learn the PCA in the next classes or not, because I want to learn this also.
Definitely. It is like SPSS is also available for the same map. No issues with SPSS. But problem with this with SPSS was that people are not having that, right? Or maybe people are using it for or downloading it for the trial version sort of thing. But using Jamovi, that is why I have written it's part 1, right?
Yes,
In the
ma'am.
next part, I'll come up with few more tests which we have not seen even in the SPSS.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any
Are we going to have polls
question?
in this videos in this session?
I'm not getting.
Earlier,
Are you getting what?
earlier, I had attended your sessions on SPSS as well as Advanced Excel. We used to have polls after the session. Are we going to?
Okay. Vivek sir, no issue. I can do that. I do not have any problem. But problem is this only takes time in uploading and all. If you people are asking for me to do that, I'll do, no problem with that. Up to you people, as you all say. I'm okay with this, Vivek sir. I think that way, I think it is more interactive, and I think we can understand that you, whatever I'm delivering, whether it is reaching to you people or not. So it is good for me if you are asking me to introduce the quizzes or the polls and all, right? Up to you. You people decide. I don't have any problem. I am ready with the questions because being a teacher, it's very easy to ask questions that I can do. Fine. So I think this is all from my side for the day. Okay, Kushal Preet Kaur ma'am is saying that will be great. Okay, no, very good, ma'am. If you are supporting this, we'll go with this. No problem. In the next session, Yogra sir, are you there? Hello. Tomorrow we are having a session or not? So tomorrow we are having session? Okay, it's Sunday. Okay. So friends, tomorrow there is no session. We are meeting on Monday with the next session. And there Yoga sir, as there is a suggestion from the participants, if we can go with the polls. So at the next, during the next session, if you can provide me the rights to share the polls. Will it be fine? Okay, fine. So thank you everyone. Good night. A great Sunday ahead to all of you. We'll meeting on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.